Saul hadn't seen the sun in days. He couldn't remember the last time he felt its warmth. The cold had settled deep in his bones, and no matter how many layers he wrapped around himself, the chill persisted, gnawing at his resolve like a patient predator. He staggered down the empty road, eyes scanning the horizon with the intensity of a starving wolf. The landscape was barren. Burned-out cars lined the roadside like skeletal remains, their empty frames rusted and crumbling in the elements. The buildings he passed were hollow shells, gutted by fire and years of scavengers taking everything of value. Saul knew these ruins held no food. He had picked them clean before, but wandered through them anyway, driven more by habit than hope. He had learned that to stop moving was to invite death, to let hunger take root and consume what little strength he had left. It had been days since he last ate. 2 cans of stale metallic peaches, but enough to keep him going for a little while. His hunger was now different, an all-encompassing, agonizing emptiness that twisted his insides and clouded his mind. He stumbled on weakened legs, leaning against the blackened walls of an old grocery store to steady himself. The windows were shattered, and the aisles had been stripped bare long ago. A sign that once read "Fresh Produce" now hung askew, its letters faded and peeling. "Fresh," Saul muttered, a bitter laugh escaping his chapped lips. The word sounded absurd in his mouth, like something from a dream. He reached the end of town, where the ruins met the endless expanse of dead fields. The wind blew across the open plain, carrying the faint scent of decay. Saul ignored it, focused instead on the dark speck in the distance, a house, isolated and barely visible against the horizon. He set off toward it, each step a battle against his failing strength. The house grew more prominent as he approached, and he felt a flicker of something akin to hope. Maybe something would be left inside, overlooked or hidden in a place where no one else had thought to look. The door was ajar when he arrived, swaying in the breeze. Saul pushed it open with the barrel of his rifle, wary of what might be inside. The hinges creaked, a sound too loud in the silence, and he stepped into the entryway. The interior was dark, lit only by the pale, diffused light filtering through the broken windows. Dust motes drifted in the air, and the floor was littered with debris. Old newspapers, shattered glass, and remnants of furniture that had long since rotted away. He moved cautiously, stepping over the mess, and went deeper into the house. Room by room, he searched. Kitchen empty, pantry bare, bedrooms stripped of blankets and anything else useful. By the time he reached the last room, he was shaking with exhaustion, his breaths shallow and uneven. The hunger was gnawing at his insides like a ravenous beast. Then he smelled it. Faint but unmistakable, the scent of death. He turned, scanning the shadows, until he saw the body slumped in the corner. A man, thin and emaciated, his eyes half open and glassy. There were no signs of a struggle. The man had simply wasted away, like so many others. Saul felt a pang of pity, quickly swallowed by the ever-present hunger. He should have left. He knew what happened to those who lingered near the dead. They became easy prey for others, or worse, lost themselves. But something held him there, his feet rooted to the floor. The hunger gnawed at him relentlessly, whispering in his ear and blurring the line between desperation and morality. "No one will know," the voice seemed to say. "It's already too late for him." Saul's stomach twisted painfully, and he sank to his knees. His hands trembled as he reached for his knife, the blade catching a faint glimmer of light. For a moment he hesitated.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.